Between the two sentences, which do you think is correct? My friends and I went out to party, or my friends and me went out to party. I can sense the confusion. Probably, nag-iisip ka na. Both sounds good. I think tama naman yon. Well, probably you're thinking right. But actually, there are some grammar rules that apply to it. But wonder no more, because I am here to help you understand more some of the most confusing grammar rules in English. By the way, my name is Jamie, and I am your teacher in the house who's going to help you when it comes to your grammar, communications, and language concerns. Let's start with apostrophes on words ending with S. Actually, the rule that we have to think about when it comes to this is you just have to add an apostrophe and an S when you would actually pronounce the additional S while saying the sentence out loud. For example, I went to James's for dinner yesterday. Keanu Reeves' John Wick is an absolute blockbuster hit. Where is Jess's bag? If plural, add an ES to the word and throw the apostrophe at the very end. Let me give you some more examples. The Jonas' car is blocking my driveway. The Reyes' garden is always beautifully landscaped. The Rivas' properties are so expensive. Done with the tricky apostrophes and S. Now, let's move forward to another most confusing grammar rule in English. But wait, before tayo mag-proceed, kindly like this video and subscribe to our official channel para updated ka palagi. Now, what do you think are the differences among acronym, abbreviation, and initialism? Actually, they are just ways to shorten words and phrases from normal speech and even through texting and email. Set the record straight, abbreviation is actually a way to shorten a phrase or a word without creating a new one. So let me show you some examples. For avenue, for December, for etc. Also, we can consider the word photo for photograph or exam as an abbreviation of the word examination. Now, let's discuss the acronyms. Actually, acronyms is also a type of abbreviation that shortens a phrase by combining the first letters of each word to form a new pronounceable word. The most common example of this is the word NASA, which stands for National Aeronautical and Space Administration. Or, do you also have a FOMO or a fear of missing out? Well, make sure to send a GIF or a graphics interchange format to your friends so that you won't be left out. Now, let's talk about initialism. Actually, it is another type of abbreviation which uses the first letter of each word in a phrase, but instead of combining them to create a new word like NASA, you just have to simply pronounce it individually. For example, VIP, which stands for Very Important Person, or ATM, which stands for Automated Teller Machine. Another example is the term BPO. And what does it mean? Business Process Outsourcing. The word TL, which stands for Team Leader, and OM, which means Operations Manager, are also some of the examples of initialism. Have you ever wondered about the difference between the word color and color? Well, there's nothing much to it. It's just a matter of geography or location. Because now, we are going to talk about the British versus the American spellings. Actually, to give you a very small trivia, the spelling has something to do with the American Revolution. Because way back in 1789, Noah Webster of the infamous Webster's Dictionary urged to have a spelling reform because he wanted the American version of words to be free of clamor and extra letter. In short, when we say British English spellings, usually they are the words with extra letter to it. For example, in the word flavor, it has an extra letter U, or the word neighbor, color, odor. In addition to those examples, we can also think of the words monologue, dialogue, catalog, even the word theater, madam, program. Is that clear? What about you? Do you know any British versus American words that is spelled differently but actually just the same? Just feel free to share it on the comment section below. Now, let's go to one of the most confusing initialism in the English language, which is the EG versus the IE. Now, EG is the short term for the Latin expression exempli gratia, which means for example. Therefore, that is the expression that you should use when giving or providing examples. Let's take a look at these examples. Number 1, there are a lot of accounts in the BPO industry. For example, telco, reservations, and financial. Second, there are various types of assessments used in the BPO industry. For example, Harvard, Berlitz, Aspiring Minds, and Versant. There are different companies in the BPO industry. For example, Teleperformance, Alorica, Taskas, and more. Next is IE or id-es, which means that is. This is used when you're trying to explain or clarify something. Now let me give you some examples. I'll get back to you soon. That is, before the end of the shift. Another example. You can definitely pass your BPO interview. That is, when you prepare and watch helpful videos like this. Now, on to the last confusing grammar rule for today's video, which is me versus I. Sometimes, it can be tricky to determine if you should be using me or I in a sentence. Like for example, my friends and I went out to party versus my friends and me went out to party. But here's an easy way to know. Use the pronoun I if the person speaking is doing the action, either alone or with someone else. Then, use the pronoun me when the person speaking is receiving the action in some way, either directly or indirectly. Let's proceed to the examples using the pronoun I. Number 1, TL and I were commended by the customer. Sample number 2, the team and I got reprimanded by the team leader. Now, let's have another set of examples using the pronoun me. First example, the customer gave commendation to TL and me. Example 2, the team leader reprimanded the class and me. It may sound awkward, but actually, they are correct. Here's another easy way to know if you're using the pronouns correctly. You just try to remove the other person from the sentence. Come to think of it, is it correct to say, I were commended by the customer? Or, the customer gave commendation to me? Now, let me ask you this again. Between the two sentences, which do you think now is correct? My friends and I went to party, or my friends and me went out to party? Now, if you've answered and chosen the first option, then you're right. If you think you're ready now and confident enough to take on any grammar skills assessment, just click on the link below and join our team. Thank you once again for watching this video, and see you on our next one.